Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Dari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Girivardhari Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yasoda Nandana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Vraja Jana Ranjana Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari Jaya Kunja Bihari 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 Jaya Radha Madhava 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 Jaya Kunja Bihari Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Govinda Jai Gopal Jaya Govinda Jaya Gopal Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Govinda Jai Gopal Jai Govinda Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jai Gauranitai Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jai Jagannath Jai Baladeva Jai Subhadra Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Jagannatha Swami Patagami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu Me Sada Vallabha Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Vallabha Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Vallabha Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Narasimha Dev 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 Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha 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 Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Narasimha Jaya प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद नरसिंह जय प्रहलाद महाराज 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 प्रहलाद महाराज प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपगता माह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासति गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरं। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतं स्वाकता कृष्णा पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनं हृदयन्तस्तो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सतां। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Reading from Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, chapter number 1. The title of the chapter is The Supreme Lord is Equal to Everyone. Text number 25. Yan nibadho abhimano yam ta vadati pranina vadaha tata na yasya kaivalya abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma kartu hi himsa kenasya kalpyate. Yannibadho abhimano yam Yannibaddo abhimanoyam tatvatat praninam vadaha tatvadat praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalya tatanayasya kaivalya abhimano akilatmanaha abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate himsa kenasya kalpate yannibadho abhimanoya tadvadati praninam vadaha tatanayasya kalva kaivalya abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate yannibadho abhimanoya tatvadat praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalyat abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate yannibadho abhimanoya tatvadat praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalyat abhimano akilatmanaha pranasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate yannibadho abhimanoya tatvada praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalyat abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi kimsa kenasya kalpyate yannibadho abhimanoya tatvadat praninam vadaha tatanayasya kalpyate abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate You don't want to read? How come? Yannibadho abhimanoyam tatvadat praninam vada tatanayasya kaivalyat abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpyate abhimanoyam Tatvadat praninam vadaha. Tatanayasya kaivalya. Abhimano akilatmanaha. Parasya dhamma karturhi. Himsa kenasya kalpate. Hari bol. Wonderful. Wonderful. Whole Sivya, Surabhi and Gokula. Everyone has recited. That's very good. Actually. Very nice. Anyone else? Yannibadho abhimanoya tadvada praninam vadaha tatanayasya kaivalya abhimano akilatmanaha parasya dhamma karturhi himsa kenasya kalpate. Yat, in which nibadha, bound, abhimanaha, false conception, I am this, that, of that body, vadat, from the annihilation, praninam, of the living beings, vadaha, annihilation, tata, similarly, not, yasya, of whom, kaivalyat, because of being absolute, one without a second, abhimanaha, false conception, akila atmanaha, of the super soul of all living entities, parasya, the supreme personality of Godhead, Dhammakartu, the supreme controller, he certainly, himsa, harm, kena, how, asya, his, kalpyate, is performed. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Because of the bodily conception of life, the conditioned soul thinks that when the body is annihilated, the living being is annihilated. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the Supreme Controller, the Super Soul of all living entities. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I and mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. This is impossible for him. Thus, he has no enemy and no friend. When he chastises the demon, it is for their good. And when he accepts the prayer of the devotees, it is for their good. He is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Because of being covered by material bodies, the conditioned souls, including even greatly learned scholars and falsely educated professors, all think that as soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. This is due to their bodily conception of life. Krishna has no such bodily conception, nor is his body different from his self. Therefore, since Krishna has no material conception of life, how can be affected by material prayers and accusations? Krishna's body is described herein as Kaivalya, non-different from himself. Since everyone has a material bodily conception of life, if Krishna had such a conception, what would be the difference between Krishna and the conditioned soul? Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita are accepted as the final because he does not possess a material body. As soon as one has a material body, he has 4 deficiencies. But since Krishna does not possess a material body, he has no deficiencies. He is always spiritually conscious and blissful. He is Swara Parama Krishna, Satchitananda Vigraha. His form is eternal, blissful knowledge. Sachitananda Vigraha, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa and Kaivalya are the same. Krishna can expand himself as Paramatma in the core of everyone's heart. In Bhagavad Gita 13.3, this is confirmed. Kshetrajnam ajapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The Lord is the Paramatma, the Atma or super self of all individual souls. Therefore, it must naturally be concluded that he has no defective bodily conceptions. Although situated in everyone's body, he has no bodily conception of life. He is always free from such conceptions. Thus, he cannot be affected by anything in relation to the material body of the jiva. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16.19, Tanagam dishata kruran samsareshu naradamam kshipami ajasram asubhan asuriv eva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Whenever the Lord punishes persons like demons, however, such punishment is meant for the good of the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul, being envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, may accuse him, saying, Krishna is bad, Krishna is a thief, and so on. But Krishna, being kind to all living entities, does not consider such accusations. Instead, he takes account the conditioned soul's chanting of Krishna, Krishna so many times. He sometimes punishes such demons for one life by putting them in a lower species. But then, when they have stopped accusing him, they are liberated in the next life because of chanting Krishna's name constantly. Blaspheming the Supreme Lord or his devotee is not at all good for the conditioned soul. But Krishna, being very kind, punishes the conditioned soul in one life for such sinful activities and then takes him back home, back to Godhead. The vivid example for this is Vritrasura, who was formerly Chitraketu Maharaj, a great devotee. Because he derided Lord Shiva, the foremost of all devotees, he had to accept the body of a demon called Vritra. But then he was taken back to Godhead. Thus, when Krishna punishes a demon or conditioned soul, he stops that soul's habit of blaspheming him, and when the soul becomes completely pure, the Lord takes him back to Godhead. So what is the theme going on in this chapter? Any idea, Sivya? What is the theme, the whole idea? What is going on in this chapter? Yes, Krishna is equal to everyone. Krishna is equal to everyone. Krishna is not partial. Krishna substantiates that in Bhagavad Gita. Do you remember the sloka? Anyone remember the sloka where Krishna says, I am equal to everyone, I do not envy anyone? No, I'm not expecting it. Just I'm asking. If you know, that's all right. Anyway, all the pandits are here. He will know everything. Yes, samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshvasti na priyaha e bhajante tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chabhyaham. Krishna says, I am equal to everyone. Equal to everyone. As a Paramatma, he is equal to everyone. But there is always a but there. There is a but. Krishna is equal to everyone, but if somebody is surrendered to him, if somebody is constantly worshipping him, constantly meditating upon him, for him he is very kindly disposed to that person also. So it is very, Srila Prabhupada in the purport writes, there is no ambiguity. Sometimes some people say, the first two lines Krishna says, I am equal to everyone. The next two lines he is saying, I am very favorable to my devotee. So people say, oh, there is a contradiction there. There is no contradiction. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada gives an example, like when the rich person has many sons and daughters are there. And rich person is equally benevolent to everyone. And he is very, very favorably disposed to everyone. But he provides all the necessities of all the living entities. But if somebody, some son or some daughter, very, very obedient and then worshipping or following the orders of the father has a naturally soft corner for that person or that boy or that girl. So same way, Krishna also is like that one. Krishna is a person. Krishna is not like some stone or statue or something. Krishna is a person. It is out of his kindness. He is standing there or is sitting there and accepting the offering, accepting the prayers, accepting the worship. All these things Krishna is doing because in our conditioned state, we are not able to associate with Krishna. So it is out of his kindness, he comes as Archavatara and takes all the worship, accepts all these offerings. So this is, so Srila Prabhupada writes here in the beginning, because of being covered by material bodies, the conditioned souls, including even greatly learned scholar, falsely educated professors, all think that as soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. So this is one professor made this statement to Srila Prabhupada. Does anyone remember who is that professor? You know, Prabhu, anyway. I don't have to ask any question to you. Any professor? There is one professor in Moscow. Prabhupada quotes left, right, center, everywhere, wherever this topic comes, the bodily conception of life, Prabhupada quotes Professor Kotosky. He was a big professor of Indology, big Hindu religion. He was a big professor. So Srila Prabhupada had a meeting with Professor Kotosky. And then he was saying, after all discussions, finally Professor Kotosky's understanding is, Swamiji, when the body is finished, everything is finished. This is a big professor of Indology, not an ordinary person. Big professor, he's supposed to know what is what. And he's saying, when the body is finished, everything is finished. But if you go to normal, any Indian villages, you just go to some common man, like he doesn't have to be a professor or a lecturer or anyone, doesn't matter. Just a normal fellow, that fellow knows, oh, he has gone. The body is finished, that Atma has gone. So this is the culture actually. The Vedic culture is so powerful. Even the professor with all his study, all his big degree, then his understanding is misunderstanding. He is understanding that when the body is finished, everything is finished. But a person who has not studied anything, he might not have gone to school also, but that person has a great understanding there is a difference between a body and the soul. Death means the body is finished and the soul has to transmigrate to another body. So this is a very common understanding, and Bhagavad Gita, beginning only. Bhagavad Gita is not talking in the end actually. Bhagavad Gita in the beginning only say, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dhiras tatrana muhyati. In the very beginning only Lord Krishna condemns this behavior, the Dehatma Buddhi. Dehatma Buddhi means thinking that I am this body, everything connected with my body. Dehatma Buddhi, Deha. But now there is a Dehi. We have to look at that. We are not just Deha. We have acquired this Deha, but we are Atma. We are Jivatma. And then we have acquired this Deha according to whatever the karma we have performed, we have acquired this Deha to perform this whatever activities. So here Srila Prabhupada says, they have falsely educated, educated and they are thinking learned scholar, they are learned scholar, all think that as soon as the body is finished, everything is finished. This is due to their bodily conception of life. Krishna has no such bodily conception, nor his body different from his self. So this is very interesting. Krishna, in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains about his self, what is he, and then it's natural when somebody says, there is some questions also will arise. So I'll just read this conversation, how Arjuna is teaching us also how to ask questions. This is Hare Krishna. How to ask questions. In the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Transcendental Knowledge, Arjuna is asking, Arjuna vacha aparam bhavato janma aparam janma vivasvataha katamedam vijaniyam tvam adau proktavan idhi. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So this question is asked by Arjuna. Arjuna is asking this question because Krishna says that I have instructed this knowledge to Vivaswan, Manu, Ikshvaku, everything he explained. Then Arjuna, a natural question is, like, we both are like a contemporaries, like we are this almost similar age group. And then how do I to he is not blaming Krishna. Oh, Krishna, you are bluffing. No, he is saying, how am I to understand? Because there is some deficiency in my understanding. So he is not blaming Krishna. This is the way to ask questions also. Because when we ask questions, immediately we challenge. In challenging mood, we ask questions. Even maybe the person may give the answer, you may not understand. The answer may be there, but you may not understand the question. So the question asking also is there is a way. Here Arjuna is teaching us. How am I to understand? He's saying, how am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So for that Krishna is very, very kindly explaining about his nature. What is his nature and his activities, everything is explaining. He is saying, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me vyatitani Janmani tavasa Arjuna Tanyagam veta sarvani Nattam veta parantapa. The personality of Godhead said, many, many births, both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. So this is the beauty. How? Because we all have taken many, many births. But we don't remember, but Krishna remembers that. And this is the beauty. Oh, Krishna, why he remembers? He says that also. Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport. So we'll just read one more sloka. He's saying, he's saying, Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan prakritim swamatishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So Krishna, even though Ajopisan avyayatma. So he is, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, Atma Mayaya, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So this is Krishna's position actually. If you understand Krishna's position, Krishna's activity, so Krishna explains this is very wonderful chapter, 4th chapter. Krishna explains about himself, what is he and then what is his position. Then because Bhagavad Gita, we have to, Srila Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we have to understand Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. At least theoretically we have to understand that. Theoretically. We may not, practically we may not be able to understand. Very difficult actually. Arjuna is trying to understand Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, and Krishna is saying, like, what will you understand? This is, he saying, the end of 10th chapter, like, there are so many vibhutis. Krishna explained this vibhuti, that vibhuti, all the vibhuti, yadyat vibhuti matsarvam, Śrīmad urjitam evava, tattat eva gachatvam, mama tejomsa sambhava. This is only one spark only. We are all these things, whatever Krishna explained, the whole of 10th chapter is only a spark of the splendor only. Krishna's vibhutis are so many. So it's very, very difficult. But that's why it's very hard to understand. But Krishna reveals actually, depending on the devotee surrender. So it's in the same chapter, Krishna says, what is the benefit? What is the benefit if I understand Krishna's body is transcendental, Krishna's appearance is transcendental, Krishna's activities are transcendental? Then it says, you don't have to take birth again in the material world. This is Janma Karma Chame Divyam Yevam Yoveti Tattvataha Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sorjuna. When somebody understands Krishna's appearance and Krishna's activities are transcendental, he does not have to take birth again in the material world. This is a great benediction actually. Great benediction. Because why we are taking this body? Why we are taking the body? Why we are coming to this material world? Separately from the Lord. Yes, we are coming to the material world, we enjoy. This is for everyone's information. Sivya is our Asthana Pandit here. She will answer all the questions actually. So this is very wonderful to have. Because this is what the children, this is an example of Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumaram Acharet Pragya. Kaumarat Acharet Pragya. This is what the whole life is for this only. We go for so many things, so many studies, so many this, so many blah, so many this. Finally, end of the day, we don't understand. We are not his body, we are spirit, soul. We have something to achieve in life. We don't understand that what is the use of this education, actually. That's why Srila Prabhupada very vehemently calls it slaughterhouse education, actually. Srila Prabhupada calls it slaughterhouse education. Because this education has to be there. We have to understand. Yes, beginning. Yes, sometimes the people say, Prabhu, I came to this class 10 years ago. You are saying the same thing. You are not this body, you are spirit, soul. After 10 years I am coming, you are saying the same thing again. Sometimes they ask this question, like, yes, we are saying the same thing, but have you understood it? Have you understood it? Have you tried to apply that in your life? Then if you are not applied, then here again. Because this is the problem. Because sometimes the people this philosophy we know, Prabhu, we know. This is again, same thing. Again, we are not this body, you are spirit, soul. This again and again, you are speaking the tape record player. No? That's same thing will come. No, not like that. Because we know we are not this body, we are spirit, soul. But have we understood that? No, if you not understood, then we have to work on that. So this is what Srila Prabhupada says here. Therefore, since Krishna has no material conception of life, so Krishna has not a material body. Krishna doesn't. He is Avyayam, and he is Sachitananda Vigraha. So he is described as how can he be affected by material prayers and accusations? Sometimes this is like the topic again comes with the Sisupala. Sisupala merging into the body of Lord Krishna. Sisupala committed a lot of offenses. Like when Sisupala we discussed in the previous class, Sisupala had this, when at the birth only he had 3 eyes and 4 hands. Sisupala had this special appearance. So then at that time they thought, this fellow has to be discarded. So then the Akashvani informed, no, you don't discard him, because one personality will come, and one personality will keep him in the lap. At that time, this the extra all the manifestation will disappear, and that the same person who is going to put him in the lap, whose presence is going to disappear, then that person will be the person killing that Sisupala also. So that was the kind of arrangement. So Sisupala's mother was Lord Krishna's aunt. So how can Krishna can kill the cousin? Is it cousin or nephew? What relationship? Nephew. So he can't do that. So mother asked, Sutashrava asked this boon, please. So Krishna said, yes, I will forgive 100 offenses. Sisupal has a limit. You can commit 100 offenses. If it crosses beyond that, then I can't do anything, because then the law has to take its own effect. So Krishna said no. So that way, and then Sisupala was committing so many offenses, and Rajasuya Yajna, all these things we discussed. And then finally, when that 100th limit is crossed, then Lord sent that Sudarshan Chakra to kill Sisupal. So in Sisupala, so this is what Yudhishthira Maharaj was surprised. He was surprised. Sisupala was so envious, was so sinful, and then how can he get into this body of Lord? That is the whole discussion started like that, actually. So here it is, Srila Prabhupada asked this question, since everyone has a material bodily conception of life, if Krishna had such a conception, what would be the difference between Krishna and the conditioned soul? So there is a Krishna, like a Putana. Putana came to give milk to Krishna in the mood of a mother. But she also want to kill Krishna with the poison. So this is like a rasabas. You want to serve Krishna and you want to kill Krishna. But Krishna took only the guna. Krishna took the guna. Guna means quality. That good quality he took. He rejected. Okay, you came to kill me, okay, I will kill you. That's all right. But when Putana gave similar status like a mother, mother's position, Dhatri. So that position was Krishna. That is Krishna. We can't do that. Like somebody puts a garland, we are very happy. Somebody throws stone at you, you get very angry actually. But Krishna's position is different. So that is why when Krishna does something, it is beyond our this thing, material karma, material jurisdiction. We should understand like that only. So Krishna cannot, because Krishna is Param Satyam. Krishna is absolute truth. So he can't do any. That is why Krishna's activities, Krishna's appearance, everything is transcendental. This understanding we have to have. If we don't have this understanding, then if we read Bhagavad Gita, everything will be mysterious only. Everything will be mysterious. Oh, how it is possible? How it is? How can I believe you? No, then it's not work. So that's why Arjuna, understanding this Chaturshloki of Bhagavad Gita, is a Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Saswatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum, Ahustva Vishayah Sarve, Devarishi Naratastata, Asito Devalo Vyasaha, Swayam Saiva Bravishi Me. So he says, all these things, your Param Brahma, Parandama, Pavitram, everything. And when he said, all these things, I am not just saying because of you are my friend, like in the matter of you pat my back, I pat your back, not that type of thing. All the great rishis, Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all these personalities, they say, I am also just repeating the same thing. So this is what the mood is actually. When we read something, when we understand something, it should be what the acharyas are saying, what the sadhus are saying. Accordingly, then our understanding. Because we may have our understanding, but most of the time our understanding is only misunderstanding only. We don't understand properly because we have a lot of defects. Srila Prabhupada is covering that in the next sentence. He is saying, as soon as one has a material body, he has 4 deficiencies. But since Krishna does not possess a material body, he has no deficiencies. So when we have a material body, he has 4 deficiencies. What are the 4 deficiencies we have? Yes. Yes. 2. Imperfect senses, cheating propensity, yes. Can you add another 2? Are you also thinking about that 2 only? Okay, that's all right, no problem. Cheating propensity, imperfect senses, tendency to be illusioned. And then another one, you want to add something? Yeah, imperfect senses. Imperfect senses. Our senses are imperfect, no? Because we think there something happening, we don't know. And why we have to go? In the school, we have done some laboratory exercise. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You can go up and put actually, please. Okay. So when you put a rod, put into the beaker or something. So the rod is straight. When you put into that, it looks like a teda. It looks like a little bit bent. The rod is not bent because our vision is like that only. Same way, so our senses are imperfect. The 4 deficiencies are there. So with 4 deficiencies, if with imperfect senses, tendency to commit mistakes, cheating propensity, tendency to be illusioned, all these things, if we have to understand something, it is not possible. So that is why we have to depend on the knowledge which is coming from the authority. There are 2 ways of acquiring knowledge. One is Aroha Pantha, one is Avaroha Pantha. Aroha Pantha means ascending process. Avaroha Pantha means descending process. Descending process is more authentic because when you do Aroha Pantha, then the problem is you are experimenting with a defective apparatus. Your apparatus is defective. No, I'm not saying you, my apparatus. The material world, everybody's conditioned soul's apparatus is defective. So we can't do experiments with that. So that is why we depend on the knowledge coming from the authority. So authority, why it is not defective? Because authority is beyond this thing. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he remembers everything. Why he remembers everything? He does not change his body. We change body from one body to another body, transmigrate from the soul, transmigrate from one body to another body. But Krishna doesn't transmigrate like that. Krishna appears by his internal energy, Atma Mayaya. He appears on his own sweet will. Actually, we appear out of karma. Whatever according to our karma we perform, according to the karma we take birth into this particular body, particular janani, particular father, particular everything. But Krishna's appearance is not like that. So that is why whatever Krishna says, that is Param. And if he is Param Satyam, he is absolute truth, he cannot do anything wrong. Even though apparently from a material calculation, it may seem like there is something not, Krishna also is stealing butter. But in a material calculation, if somebody is stealing something, it is considered like offense actually. But Krishna is glorified for stealing butter. This is a very next topic we can understand. Like, there are a lot of things like that. So Prabhupada explains here, he has no deficiencies. He is always spiritually conscious, blissful. Iswara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha. His form is eternal, blissful knowledge. Sachitananda Vigraha, Ananda, Chinmaya, Rasa and Kaivalya are the same. Kaivalya, this normally the Kaivalya is referred. Kaivalya is like a merging. But here the Kaivalya is like Krishna's position is Kaivalya. He is beyond material conceptions. Krishna is beyond material conceptions. And here, and Krishna says also, he is expanded as a Paramatma in everybody's heart. Krishna, this is his kindness actually. Krishna's kindness is like, for example, like the children are here. The father and mother are always concerned about the children, correct? Always concerned. Why? Because the children, when they go out, they may get disturbed or they may get attacked or something. So that they always concerned. But that same way, Krishna also is very, very concerned about us actually. Very, very concerned. When the living entity wanted to enjoy separately from the Lord, Krishna says, good instruction, no, living entity, hell bent upon, no, I want to separately enjoy, I don't want to be with you. Okay, then still I will be here with you. As a Paramatma, he is coming, guiding actually. In all circumstances, Krishna is guiding actually. Provided we are ready to take the guidance. If you don't want to take the guidance, it is your prerogative. You want to ignore the guidance? That's you choose. You choose like that. But Krishna is ready to give his advice, his guidance all the time. Krishna is accompanying the living entity. Whatever situation may be, he is accompanying as a Paramatma and giving us the guidance. That is why Prabhupada quotes here from Bhagavad Gita, Kshetragyam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. The Lord is Paramatma. The Atma or super self, all the individual souls. Therefore, it must be naturally concluded that he has no defective bodily conceptions. Although situated in everyone's body, he has no bodily conception of life. So naturally, when we are in a particular situation, we also get conditioned actually. We also get conditioned. But Lord is not like that. Because Lord's body, because when we are in a situation, because that is what conditioned soul means. Conditioned soul means we get conditioned. Why we are conditioned soul? Because we are conditioned to this atmosphere, conditioned to the situation where we are in. But Krishna is above all these things. So he is not, even though he is situated within the body and he knows what is going on, but he is not affected by the bodily, what is happening in the jiva's body. But he is concerned. He is ready to give advice, provided you are ready to take actually. If you want to take, then Krishna is ready to give the advice. And then Krishna says in another place, Srila Prabhupada quotes Krishna as Tanaham Dishata Kruran Samsareshu Naradhama Kshipami Ajasram Asubhan Asuram Eva Yonishu. This is 16th chapter, Divine and Demoniac Nature. Srila Krishna says, those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. So this is the nature. Srila Prabhupada raises a question. If everybody is saying, Lord is very merciful, Lord is very merciful, then why Lord puts this type of people into a demoniac species so that they are not able to come up in their life? Like, naturally people will ask, why Lord is, you are saying God is very merciful. If God is very merciful, why these demons are put into the demoniac species and they continue, perpetually they continue this thing. So Srila Prabhupada explains, the putting the demons into demoniac species also is another form of mercy. Sometimes we think giving something is one type of mercy, praise is one type of mercy, and giving chastisement is also another type of mercy. So we should not think that, okay, mercy means only always glorify somebody, that is mercy. No, that is not only mercy. That is also mercy, but if you get chastised, then also it is special mercy actually. Because glorifying one mercy, if chastisement, then we will come to senses actually. If we don't, somebody is not chastising us, then we will continue to make the mistakes again and again. Then the final thing we will miss actually. Instead, if somebody chastises us, then we should take it as a very situation is good. That is that the person, that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to say, if somebody is flattering you, he is your enemy. Flattering you means he is your enemy. If somebody is criticizing you, or at least positively or constructively criticizing you, then that he is your real friend actually. So this is what we have to understand. So the Lord is saying, whenever the Lord punishes persons like demons, however, such punishment is meant for the good of conditioned soul. It is for the good of that person only. Even though the punishment is given, because why there is a punishment, why there is a jail, why there is a reformation cell, because these things are there so that the person can be reformed. Because nobody is eternally condemned in this world. Because this is the whole, this premise is, we are not eternally condemned actually. We all, we have some way or other, we have committed some mistake. Otherwise, why we are in the material world? We are in the material world because we have committed some mistake, some activity. So now, how we can rectify the situation? That is what we are here. We have created this, the place is here where we can perform activities and we can do these things so that we can be relieved of this situation. So that is a very, that's why we are here. The reformation is happening. As we see, the reformation is happening and it is bound to happen. When we are in the satsanga, automatically I may be a sinful person. But if I am in the satsanga, in the company of saintly people, automatically I also will get some good qualities actually. So that's why Srila Prabhupada initially dealt with so many people actually. So many people came, so many musicians came, so many people who are accustomed to so many habits, they all came. But when they associated with the sadhu, all this, whatever the qualities they had, they got purified. This is the beauty of association. So here, Krishna, so this is like a personality of Godhead, they may accuse the personality of Godhead saying Krishna is bad, Krishna is a thief. But Krishna, being so kind to all living entities, does not consider such accusations. Instead, he takes account of the conditioned soul chanting of Krishna, Krishna so many times. So he was remembering Krishna. Kamsa was thinking about Krishna 24/7. Sometimes devotees also don't think about Krishna 24/7 actually. Sometimes they forget Krishna. But Kamsa was so Krishna conscious, he was thinking 24/7, he was thinking about Krishna only. But, what is the but? The but is he was thinking of Krishna, so when Krishna comes, I want to kill him. He was thinking of Krishna in a very unfavorable way. But that is not very, because what you have to think is, if you are thinking of Krishna in a very unfavorable way, even in the unfavorable way, thinking of Krishna gives you so much benefit, why can't you think of Krishna in a favorable way? That is the way Srila Prabhupada spends the whole purport. Next to purport, Srila Prabhupada spends the whole purport in this way. Because sometimes when people, our mind sometimes can get crooked, like, oh, Sisupala merged into the body of my Lord. So that means I should also start blaspheming the Lord. I should also start committing offenses against the Lord. That is the way of, no, that is not the way. That is special cases. Sisupala, Dantavakra, Ravana, Kumbhakarna, Jaya, Vijaya. The same way, like our Jagai, Madai. They are all very special cases. They are not like a normal. They are very, this is special edition. Special edition. Once in a time only they come. They don't come very often like that. Because the normally process is anukulena Krishna anusilanam. We have to perform devotional service in a favorable way. So because Putana gave poison, but she got also benediction. So that doesn't mean that everybody starts killing Krishna, everybody goes in the killing spree. Like I also want to kill Krishna, I also want to attack Krishna. It won't work like that. So this is special considerations. So here, Srila Prabhupada continues, he sometimes punishes such demons for one life by putting them in lower species, but then again, when we have stopped accusing him, they are liberated in the next life because of chanting Krishna's name constantly. So this is like this special favor is given because, and this is like out of his kindness. Krishna, that's as we discussed, Krishna is only bhava grahi, guna grahi. He says only the quality. Krishna takes only the quality. If Krishna sees all our other qualities, bad qualities, impurities, then there is no hope for us. We may not be able to get up only actually. But Krishna sees, oh, you have this thing, this quality, you have this quality, I want to serve me. Okay, immediately I give you the mata smrtir jnanam apohanam. I give you the knowledge, I will give you the understanding, so that you can become more and more fixed up in devotional service. Krishna is out of his kindness. Krishna does that actually. So this is like that is also Krishna's mercy only. It is not Krishna is not like envious of anyone. Krishna is not envious of anyone. Same way, devotees are also not envious actually. Okay, so just like Krishna is not envious, devotee is also not envious. Because devotee is called nirmatsara. He does not have any envy. He wants to give this process because this is the greatest beneficial work actually. If somebody is suffering, you can give him some money, you can give him food, you can give him this, you can give him that, no problem. That will solve the problem temporarily. But you give him the knowledge that you are not this body, you are spirit soul, your father is Krishna, your place is Goloka Vrindavan or Vaikuntha Dham. So that means that person does not have to take birth again in the material world. That is a great benediction. So that is what devotees are doing. Srila Prabhupada is doing. Srila Prabhupada is giving us the opportunity that we can put an end to this samsara chakra. Samsara chakra is there. Again, birth, death, disease, old age. Birth, death, disease, old age. We have been going through this thing for eternity. Eons we are going. So human form of life, we have an opportunity to put a full stop. Yes, here we can put a full stop here. And that opportunity is there. So devotees are working. So that is why they are real beneficiaries. Real benefit. So this is like they want to give the benefit of the Krishna Kanshi Association to everyone. So that is why devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. Very, very dear to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, towards the end, Yayitam paramam guhyam mad bhakteshu abhidasyati bhaktim mayi param krutva mame vaisyasi asamshaya. Krishna says, those who are trying to distribute this knowledge, trying to distribute the knowledge, that person is very, very dear to me. Why he is very dear to me? He is engaged in the beneficial work. Krishna wants to do that, and then he is assisting Krishna in that endeavor. That's why he is very, very Krishna is very, very favorably disposed to this devotee. And Krishna says in the next sloka, there is no person more dear to me than this person who is trying to distribute this knowledge. So we have to take that in the positive way. Krishna is ready to help in all circumstances. Prabhupada concludes this here. The vivid example for this Vritrasura, who was formerly Chitraketu Maharaj, a great devotee. Because he derided Lord Shiva, the foremost of all devotees, he had to accept the body of a demon called Vritra. So this is last chapter, last section, we studied about Vritrasura, Chitraketu Maharaj. So Chitraketu Maharaj was a very great devotee, no doubt about that. But still he made a small mistake. Small mistake. He was just like when Lord Shiva was sitting with Mother Parvati on the lap, he just laughed and then he made... So that is like... Lord Shiva didn't take it any offense actually. He was very cool. No? He knew that, okay, all these type of exchanges will be there. But Mother Parvati became very angry. So then she cursed him. And then again, Lord Shiva gave some... instructions to Mother Parvati. So we all know that. So this is what we are. Lord's way is Lord, whenever He gives something, and then He gives the way to come out also. The devotee will not be, that's why Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma Sasva Santim Nigachyati Kaunteya Prati Janehi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. Krishna gives the guarantee. Even though from a material point of view, may seem like the devotee is gone off or something. That's why we should never ever underestimate the power of Krishna. Krishna can protect. Krishna will protect, not Krishna can protect. Krishna will protect. And that is Krishna's promise actually. He says to Arjuna, now you declare it actually. Krishna doesn't want to declare himself. Why can't he declare actually? Krishna can declare himself because Krishna, instead of him declaring, he's saying, Kaunteya, you declare. Because when devotee says something that is more important for Krishna. Because then Krishna broke his promise. Krishna broke his promise. But if a devotee promised something, that is more important for him. So Bhishma Dev made a promise. What promise Bhishma Dev made? You remember? Many promises he might have made. One promise he says, no problem. Brahmachari, yes, that's all. That's good. That is good. But the promise, what I was referring was, Bhishma Dev made one promise saying that today I will fight so vehemently that I will kill Arjuna. Unless otherwise this Krishna, he said, I am not going to pick up the weapon. If then he is intervening, then only it is going to be stopped. He took a promise. He took a vow that I am going to fight. Like he fought like that. And Arjuna was completely devastated. But finally, Krishna could not, Arjuna is about to be finished, and then Krishna took his this thing and then chariot wheel and he was attacking. But then immediately he stopped. Oh, this is what I was waiting for. Because this is like Krishna, he took one promise that I will not pick up any weapon. But actually, in one sense, the wheel is not a weapon. There are other arguments on that. But Krishna, for protect his devotee, he is ready to do anything and everything. So we have to be convinced about that. Krishna will protect. And that way, we are in a very, very safe situation where Krishna's protection is there, Acharyas are there, everything favorable. If we don't take this very favorable situation, then what are we waiting for actually? When we wait, another situation will come, another time will come. Sometimes people say, I will do, when the time comes, I will do. This is the right time. The right time has already come. This is the right time when everything is favorable. All the association is there, and the satsanga is there, and deities are there, Prabhupada is there, all these things are there. So we have to take full advantage of this situation. So I'll stop here. If there is any questions or comments. Hare Krishna. See? Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yeah, actually, zero tolerance. They say, what is this? Everywhere they written, zero tolerance. Eh? What is it? That all the officers, zero tolerance. That is the ideal situation is zero tolerance. But Krishna will forgive. Because Krishna will forgive that. Because that is, Krishna is like a father. Like, you think of like your father. Sometimes you make some mistake. Your father forgives? Correct. How many times your father forgives? 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times? Yes, yes. But, and sometimes you say, you don't keep on committing offense. Krishna will, this is like we have to consider Krishna like our father. Krishna is like same like a father only. Like Krishna knows that. But only thing is, we don't want to keep on committing the offenses again. One mistake, forgiven. Okay, again I will do the thing. Again I will do that. That type of thing is not recommended. So when we do something, then when we take a vow that I am not going to commit that, then we should stick to that and then continue. So that, not that, then mistake, offense is forgiven, then I will do the offense again. That is not very, very good proposition. So yes, Krishna will be very merciful, but as far as possible, zero tolerance. We minimize the offenses. No offense is the best thing. Like even in there's a 0% alcohol, they write that this thing also. So same way here also our this thing is no offenses. That is the best policy. But if some offense is committed, that is why we pray. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. We pray to the Lord, pray to the devotees, because sometimes knowingly committing offense, sometimes unknowingly also we commit offenses. So we pray for that also. So that way we are protected. But sometimes people say, approaching Krishna is very difficult, I may commit offenses, let me not go near Krishna only. This is a corollary to your question. Sometimes people may say, if I go near devotee, if I know I may commit offenses, so let me not do anything. So then I will not do any offense. Let's say I will go and keep on sleeping 24 hours a day, and then I will not commit any offenses. No, that is not the good thing. Yeah, you have to associate with people. Yes, and we learn as we go. We commit offenses, we learn, and then we try to reform us. This is like constant refinement, actually. This is the process of devotional service is constant refinement. So to the stage, like there is no impurities, then that's it. Go back home, back to garden. Yeah? Okay? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You only give an explanation only. You don't ask questions, bro. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you.
Now, today's verse is a statement in the shloka translation. Because he has no material body, he has no false conception of I and mine. It is therefore incorrect to think that he feels pleasure or pain when blasphemed or offered prayers. Further it is said, he is affected neither by prayers nor by blasphemy. And then,
where do we pray?
My question is about reconciliation. Third canto, 18th chapter, and 6th verse. Translation. Although the Lord was pained by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, he bore the pain. But seeing that the earth was on the ends of his tusks, was frightened, he rose out of water just as an elephant emerges with a female companion while a The Supreme Personality of Godhead is decried by the Mayavadi philosophers who are almost demons. They say that the Lord has no head, no form, no existence, no legs, hands, or other bodily limbs. In other words, they say that he is dead or lame. All these misconceptions of the Supreme Lord are a source of dissatisfaction to him. He is never pleased with such atheistic descriptions. In this case, although the Lord felt sorrow from the piercing words of the demon, he delivered the earth for the satisfaction of the demigods who were ever his devotees. The conclusion is that God is a sentient being as we are. He is satisfied by our prayers and dissatisfied by our harsh words against him. In order to give protection to his devotees, he is always ready to tolerate insulting words from the atheists.
Okay.
So today's verse is saying he never
Yes.
feels pleasure.
Yeah, I know you already know the answer, but okay. So what I have heard from again, this subject matter is very, very, very high level, this thing, but how to understand, like the way I understood, you quoted all these things, but even the same sloka, the ninth chapter, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshto sinapriya e bhajante tu mam bhaktya maite teshu chabhyaham. So in that sloka only, when again, I have heard from the other senior devotees, acharyas, what they say, is like when you say, I am equal to everyone, I do not envy anyone, I do not have any hatred or anything towards anyone, because it's a Paramatma feature. Paramatma feature of the Lord. Paramatma is providing, see, it's like a Paramatma is not distinguishing, oh, it's a demon here, is a devotee here, we should not give him the supplies and all he supplies everything. But as a Bhagavan feature, Bhagavan has as you rightly said, Prabhupada, there is nothing, actually Prabhupada will not say anything contradictory. That is another, like when we say Krishna is Param Satyam and Prabhupada's purports are also for us, is absolute authority for us. Yes, when Prabhupada says that, so then as a Bhagavan, Krishna says that. Krishna says, we don't have to go to Bhagavatam, even in Bhagavad Gita only, Paritranaya Sadhu Nam. So that means Krishna is calling somebody as a Sadhu, Vinasaya Dushkrutam. So that means I am somebody, I am Dushkriti, somebody is Sukruti. Krishna is also distinguishing. There is a Dushkriti, there is Sukruti. So as a Paramatma, he is fulfilling the desires of everyone. He does not have any kind of reservation or anything. He is ready to fulfill. But as a Bhagavan, yes, he has some, yes, I have, this is Dushkruti, this is Sukruti. So he distinguishes actually. So it's not like yes, Krishna also, actually Krishna feels the pain also. That way when the living entity suffers in the material world, Krishna feels the pain. Otherwise, why he would personally come? What is the need of Krishna to personally come to this material world? There is no need. Absolutely, we have to check it out something. That's why we came here. But Krishna doesn't have to check out anything. Krishna, everything is there. So Krishna has a pain also. But that pain is not like a material type of pain. Like his pain is when the living entity is separated from him. He's like a struggling in the material world, like Janma Samsara Chakra. So then he feels that compassion. That's why he comes actually. So prayers is like sometimes so we have to take it this way. As a Paramatma, he is very neutral actually. He is very neutral. He doesn't distinguish between this or that, and he gives supplies everyone. He provides for everyone. But, as Prabhupada explains in the 9th chapter sloka, when somebody is he will provide the necessities of everyone, but if somebody is very, very special, very, very obedient, then he has a soft corner. So Krishna also has a soft corner for the devotees. So that is why the Bhagavan feature. When the Bhagavan feature, Krishna will reciprocate like that. So, as for the other demon feature, demon also, yes, for him also reciprocation is there, but in the form of punishment. But that punishment is also another benediction. So that's the way I understand. Maybe you can read a bit more and clarify my understanding, but this is what I understand. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Brahma, see, this is the three features. Bhagavan iti sabdyate. Yeah. Brahmati is is all pervading. So Krishna's. So when this is like a Brahma Jyoti, this is a bodily effulgence of Krishna, Brahma Jyoti. Yeah. So that is another feature of the Lord. So it's so this is again this what we have to understand is like sometimes apparently it may seem like a contradiction. One side, so that means people see like next to purport Srila Prabhupada spends a lot of time. Sometimes, then that means Krishna doesn't care about the prayers, Krishna doesn't blame out the blasphemy. So let me start blasphemy only. Why to pray? So what is the need of prayers? Like sometimes people will ask, no, Prabhu is not asking, but materialistic fellows, they will think this question, why do we need prayer? Then Krishna doesn't, when I pray something, Krishna is not going to be pleased or something. Not pleased in that sense. Yeah, if somebody prays, so we pray to Krishna. So, and that is not, Krishna is not going to be benefited by the prayer. We get purified actually. It's not like when I pray to Krishna, so because when the political leader, you pray him, he gets praise, he is very happy, looking here and there. But Krishna is not like that. Krishna doesn't require our prayer. Krishna doesn't require this offering, but we require it. We require Krishna's mercy. We require Krishna's blessing. That is, we need it. It's not Krishna's need. So when we do something for Krishna, for Krishna's benefit, it's not, we can't do any benefit for Krishna. It is for our own benefit. When we do something, we are only getting benefited. Not Krishna is not getting benefited with it. But out of his kindness, he accepts that. As a father, as a well-wisher, even though some offering may be very insignificant, he still accepts that. That is his kindness. That is his special mercy towards the living entities. Okay. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpataru Vaisvanchakalpataru. Krishna Guru Maharaj Prabhupada. Mm-hmm.